All right, shalom, shalom. We give all praises, glory, honor, and power that's due unto Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Hakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Those who rule well on how I learned this truth from. And salutations unto you brothers out there stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking your lives and freedoms to do so. And shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await this second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of the Lord Yahweh Shah. All right, this is your brother Chagabar back at you again with another lesson. All right, we're going to be touching on the fact that pretty much, man, the Southern Kingdom representing the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, all right, were oppressed together, all right, with the Northern Kingdom, okay, which is the so-called Mexicans, so-called Native Indians, right, indigenous people, right? And so there was this article that went out, all right, as you can see, entitled, "A Century of Newspaper Ads Shed Light on Indigenous Slavery in Colonial America." Okay, so I want to grab this preset real quick, man, because what? The truth is coming out. All right, all of this truth, man, that's being hidden by Esau's whitewash history. This shit is coming out, man. And again, for all you camps out there that these black only Israelites, okay, that think the 12 tribes of Israel are just so-called Negroes, right? So-called black people only. Well, why is it that all this information that comes to light that the so-called indigenous people and so-called Mexicans, man, were enslaved with us? Okay, they were enslaved too, man. Like, when you got to understand that even when Christopher Columbus first came over here, all right, they brought back indigenous people back over there to Europe, okay, and put them in slavery, all right? But you got a lot of black only camps, man. They got a lot of explaining to do, man. Okay, but this is Psalms chapter 85 and verse 11. It says, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven," man. And that's what you're seeing. The Most High is bringing out all this information. Okay, he's pretty much pulled back the covering cast from off the people, and he's exposing Esau, man. He's exposing his whitewash history and bringing all of this shit to light. You know, so they can come with the whole they call it a critical race theory and all these different things, so that to try to not push slavery and what actually happened in these schools. But guess what, man? The Most High is going to bring this shit to light anyways. All right, and he's doing it. Why? Because he's about to destroy this man's kingdom. All right, but anyways, this is an article going into how there were newspaper ads back during the 1700s to the 1800s, where there were ads going out, all right, selling, all right, indigenous Northern Kingdom slaves, man. You see? And I'm going to read a little bit of this, all right? I'm going to put it in the description box, all right? I'm not going to grab all of it. But it says, "A century of newspaper ads shed light on indigenous slavery in colonial America," man. So you got to ask yourself, why is this information coming out? You know, if it was just so-called Negroes that was the only ones enslaved to these white people, right? If we were the only ones enslaved and building up America, you got all this other information, man, that shows you the opposite. You see, we were building this man's kingdom up together, man. All right. It says, since the beginning of journalism in America, newspapers have been funded by advertising. In the 18th century, alongside advertisements for shoe repair, corduroys, and cutlery, colonial newspapers sold and ran ads for enslaved and unfree men, women, and children, usually in the form of runaway and to be sold ads. Okay, so they were putting out ads, all right, to sell indigenous people, man, which is what? Your Northern Kingdom Israelites, so-called Mexicans, so-called Native Americans, man. And that's why when you look at them, they're in the same conditions we in, man. All right, the tribe of Gad, right? The Native Indians is on them reservation camps. A lot of them prone to alcoholism. Okay, when you look at the so-called Mexicans, right? They got their different gangs, you know, the cartel, the mafias, right? They make up these prisons too. So you see the same curses affect both of us, man. All right, because why? We all make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. It says these advertisements show something that scholarship on early American slavery has not always fully acknowledged, man. See, history is whitewashed, man, and history is told through the lens of the one who pretty much came out, man, came out on top. You see? So these conquistadors, they're the ones who've been able to write history and tell you how the narrative or how the story went, man. You know, and then they cover up a lot of information. You know, it says, along with Linford Fisher at Brown University, the two show that the presence of enslaved and unfree indigenous people was ubiquitous in the American colonies as late as the 19th century, long after the peak of the African slave trade, which we know this African slave trade, all right, is referring to the Israelites. Okay, we're not Africans, we're not Hamites, man. We are Israelites. Okay, completely different. All right, but it says in a newspaper published in Slavery and Abolition, DeSarma and Fisher used a century of these ads from 1704 to 1804 to trace the presence of indigenous slavery in homes and on plantations throughout the American colonies and to explore the connection between journalism and slavery. All right, so you see that the indigenous tribes that were here long before the white man ever came over here, they were put into slavery too, man. All right, they was picking the cotton, right? The tobacco, the sugar, okay? And they were in them same conditions we was in. They was there too, man. Okay? This is Jeremiah 50:33. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel," which is your northern kingdom, "and the children of Judah," the southern kingdom, "were oppressed together." See that? "And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go," man. So when you look at this modern captivity, we're all here, man. All the 12 tribes, you're gonna find them in America, okay? Because this is where the collection, the most of the tribes is at. Now we know that we're scattered into all the corners of the earth, as scriptures tell you, like Isaiah chapter 11 and 11, right? We're everywhere, but you gotta understand, we was taken from the land of Israel, all right? So from West Africa, Europe, and this is where most of the Israelites reside, man. All right, and we're oppressed together over here. All right, in America, Babylon the Great. All right, it says, I'm gonna skip down. It says, in runaway and to be sold ads, enslavers and slave brokers share descriptions of the individuals they wish to be returned or were putting up for sale. Indigenous people were often referred to as Indian or a person with an Indian look. See, it says the earliest runaway advertisements referencing an indigenous person was printed in a 1704 issue of the Boston Newsletter. All right, and this is what it read. It says, "Ran away from Captain John Alden of Boston on Monday the 12th current, a tall, lusty Indian man called Harry, about 19 years of age, with a black hat, etc., man." But this is showing you they was running advertisements selling Northern Kingdom Israelites, man. Right? So for you black only Israelites out there, man, you got some explaining to do, man. Okay, we wasn't the only ones being sold, the only ones working in plantations, all right, and being subject to this oppression. All right, the so-called Mexicans, so-called Native Indians, all right, we're dealing with the same shit, man. Okay, they were dealing with the same exact shit, man. And that's, I'm gonna grab this. It says DeSarma uncovered this ad in a database of historical newspaper after months of combing through every ad that mentioned the word Indian between the years 1704 and 1804. There were over 75,000 of these in this database alone, which doesn't include every paper published during that time period. It says many of these ads were used to sell goods like Indian blankets and Indian corn, but 1,066 advertised enslaved and unfree indigenous people. See that? So from 1704 to 1804, out of the the papers that they pulled, 1,066 advertisements were pretty much selling Northern Kingdom Israelites, man. You see that they were advertisements to sell Northern Kingdom Israelites, right? And so that shows you what, man, that Judah, okay, the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom were oppressed together, man. Okay, you got to be able to explain why the You know, for you black onlys out there, man, you got to be able to explain why so-called Mexicans, so-called Native Indians, why are they going through similar things that we dealing with, man? Right? Why are they going through similar things we dealing with? Why did the white man come over here? All right, make every single treaty the white man made with the natives when he came over here, man, he broke every single last one of them. They brought disease over here. They killed them off. Okay, they put them to work. All right. You know, the same shit they was doing to us, chopping our hands off if we wasn't picking cotton and shit. They were doing that to them, man. You know, they had to pick sugar and mine gold, and if they wasn't able to do it, they chop their hand off, chop their foot off, and do all these atrocities, man. See, so again, this, you know, it's just an article going out showing you the Most High is revealing and bringing to light, man, that, hey, his people, man, his 12 tribes, man. Ain't no other nation of people, the Africans, the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indians, okay, the fucking so-called white man, ain't none of these other nations went through what we went through, man. All right, okay. But hey, that's pretty much the point. All right, I'm gonna put this in the description box. All right, you know, if anybody want to read into it anymore, but that's your proof, man. Hey, more proof coming out, man. Hey, the Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, man, we was over here in captivity together, building up this man's kingdom. And at the end of the day, we're gonna witness this man's kingdom fall, man. All right, we're witnessing this man's kingdom fall. All right. But anyways, with that, I'm gonna give all praises unto Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rakakadash, DTA Wa Baba Ba. Shalom.